Hello again. This is Coach Hannah at River Valley High School going in over our next part of the series. This is our gap scheme series in the Power Spread Offense 101 that I'm putting out. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it here. Again, we're just focusing more on the twins formations. Could work on bigger projects here in the near future. I'm uncertain on what I'm going to go with this. But basically, here we got our first play. This is going to be our twin Fright Black Colt. So let me go ahead. I'm going to start my timer here so I don't go. My last video went 36 minutes. Went a little bit long on that, but today I'm not actually showing any video clips, so we may go a little bit faster today. So on this one, so let me start left to right here. We have our X. He's going to be focused on MDM blocking. Now, MDM blocking simply means most dangerous man. So that means that we're going to keep our eyes on both the corner and the rover in this situation. And he's going to look at which one is going to come down into run support and the one that's going to drop back into coverage. On the drop back into coverage, we're not worried about. I mean, he's going back. He's going backwards, so we're going to have more space on him to make a move if we need to with our tailback. So the one we're going to block, again, is our most dangerous man here. So say if he drops back and then he comes down, well, we would come down and block the rover here. Otherwise, we could have him brought back, and then the corner, well, we can block the corner in that case. So pretty easy concept. Very important to the power spread. Again, we want to block up the guys who are the most dangerous to our plays. So, all right, offensive line here. So our right tackle is going to do something we call a gap seal hinge. So that means on all our gap plays, we got to account for the gap that is being vacated here. So he's basically going to just kind of move like, it's almost kind of like a pass set, I guess. He's just going to kind of back into the gap a little bit, and he's going to kick out this guy, make sure he doesn't come and disrupt anything. Again, it's just to protect the gap that we have here. Now on this one, we have our right guard. He is actually going to be pulling, and he's actually going to be kicking out the defensive end right here. So pretty simple. We just, come back here. It's kind of like an L pull, and come vertical, and then go around and kick out the defensive end there. Center, he's going to be blocking back on whoever lines up here again. Could be an over front, could be an under front. It really doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, it's just up to the offensive line to communicate those calls, and who knows who they have. Unfortunately, I mean, it's easy just to have this basic front. This is an over front here. We have the nose. The nose is going to be set to the strength of the formation here, with our Y and Z being on the right. But, again, like I said, it comes down to offensive line blocking whatever front they have. So in this case, he's going to be blocking back on our 3 technique here. Left tackle and left guard, they're going to be blocking the nose, and then this is called, this blocking technique is called a deuce. So basically he's going to be blocking, and we're going to be working to the backside linebacker on the play here. In this case, it would be the Mike, but I will go ahead and say you can also run this to the right as well, and in that case, they would be pulling for the will linebacker here, if they were on the other side. So that's pretty much it. I mean, and most important thing is on this one, we have the H. He is going to be pulling for the front side linebacker here. So we have 2 pullers. This is kind of like if you're in your more spread sets, this would be considered GT in normal sets, but in this case, we actually have an extra blocker, and he's actually going to be pulling for that backer instead of the tackle. The tackle is going to be gap seal hinging. So In this play, our T, you know, you can work him out of pistol or sidecar. It really doesn't matter. Do what's best for your team. Do what's best for, you know, what you have. I mean, in the past, I believe that we probably put him over here. Well, and then obviously this would be more kind of like a, you know, going up. So again, do what's best for your team. That's all there is to it. Nothing special out here. Y and Z are blocking on. And so that is our Twins Right Black Colt play. Okay. So our next play, this is going to be our power play. This is our Twins Right Red Patriot. So Patriot is our power play. And so red is telling them we're blocking right, obviously, here. So X, I'm not going to go too much. I want to keep this a little bit shorter. X is going to be MDM blocking on the backside here. You know, corner, rover, whichever one's the most dangerous. Left tackle is going to be gap seal hinging. This one, we're going to have our left guard. He's going to be pulling. He's going to be pulling for the Mike linebacker. Center, he's going to block back. Again, right guard and right tackle, they have a deuce call. They double whoever this person in front of them right here, and ultimately we get movement back to the will linebacker. And on this one, we have our H. He's going to actually be kicking out the defensive end. So this would be a reminder. Again, he's kind of doing the same thing that he would be on Atlanta, our previous one, where he's just kicking out the defensive end. Nothing special going over here. Y and Z are still blocking on. Again, we have different RPOs attached to these, but not going to go over those today. May go into a future big project that I'm going to be probably working on after a couple of these videos just to see the level of support. Again, T, he can go ahead and just be in pistol. He can sidecar. Doesn't really matter. I mean, do what's best for your team and what you feel is best. But yeah, that's our Twins Right Red Patriot. All right, so now we go on to the final play of this gap scheme series. I mean, and this is probably the most important play in the gap series. When I say this, I totally mean it. This is the 92 mesh to the air raid. This is the 92 mesh to the air raid for the power spread, the buck sweep. So this is one you need to put a lot of time in, because there's a lot going on in this play. But I tell you what, whenever I was at Arkansas Tech, we use this play and we abuse the crap out of it. We're getting 8 yards a carry on this play. And even there are times where our pullers were not hitting nobody out here in the zone. We're still getting 8 yards a carry because of this block right here. So let me go ahead and I'll just talk about this block right here. Now, on this play is very important, very important. So whatever side you run it to, we usually run it to the boundary, our one receiver side, mainly just because it's just how it works in the series. We have different tags again, where we can move some people around and then still run it to the field. I may go over those in a later project. So anyways, just for the basics of this, we're running it to the boundary, and the most inside receiver will always cheat down. They're going to cheat down closer to the tackle. And unfortunately, I don't have any video on this right now. May go over it in a bigger project. But anyways, so he's going to take 2 steps, and he is going to push crack. We call it push crack the first linebacker in the box. And he is going to just, again, work, and he's going to push crack this will linebacker. Very important block, because you probably see on this one, don't really have anybody for the backside linebacker on this play. But honestly, this block turns one block into two blocks because this pretty much blocks this guy out just about 99% of the time, unless he goes over top. By that time, we're already freaking 20 yards down the field. So that is our X's block here. Our left tackle, he's going to be kicking out, or he's going to be, blocking down on whichever defensive tackle's right here. One side note I do want to mention. So the only way that you can run this form of buck sweep is if we have a big skill in the backfield or you have a tight end. You cannot run it this method unless you have that, because we need someone to kick out the defensive end. And I mean, we have variations where we can do buck sweep in other formations, but it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. So again, he's going to kick out the defensive end here. He'll have that block. On this one, so we have our near side left guard here, since we're running it to the left. He's actually going to pull, and his objective, I'm going to go over just the base because there's different things, different rules for whatever on doing this. But in a perfect world, the left guard is going to pull, and he's going to kick out the corner on this. So again, he's going to do a little L pull, and he's going to kick out the corner here. All right, so we got the center here. He's actually going to block down on the defensive tackle. And now we got our right guard here. He's our backside guard on this play. So he's going to do a pull here, and you're going to be like, okay, who is he pulling for? Well, whatever comes down in the box here, he's going to be blocking support. So we can consider this is a question mark pull. Now, the big key on this one is whenever we're pulling, this is just like we're doing on back on flash and dash. We're going to keep our eyes inside. Eyes inside once we get out here. If anything comes over top, or we get, one of these guys coming down, and we're going to keep our eyes inside. This is our question mark pull, because we'll go on whoever's the most immediate threat on that. So he's going to be pulling here in the D gap. And again, that's kind of the same for this one, because if we have a different front, then he's actually the question mark pull as well. He can pull around and get whoever's the best, most immediate threat. So on this one now, you probably noticed again, I have this in sidecar. That's honestly probably the only way to do it effectively. For pistol teams, I would probably just recommend you could probably start out in the backfield, and then you could either call like a buzz call. We call our buzz call. He'd jump over to sidecar. Have something like that in place. You can get him beside you without, it'd be pretty quick. So that way they wouldn't be able to necessarily key on that play. They may be able to key on it already by the X's split being cut down a little bit. On this play here, you see the backside receivers, they're going to be running double slants. Now, this is in case you're probably like, okay, this is like an RPO. Well, not really. Our objective, obviously, in this play, this is to hand the ball off. We can turn this into a 60-yard touchdown. And I've seen it happen multiple times. And so have the other team's defensive coordinators. They've seen it multiple times. So they're going to be coming down, and then they'll be coming down here, fill a gap or try to blow up a gap. Well, we actually are going to see that pre-snap with our quarterback. We see any type of blitz or anything like that, we have our two slants right here. So we have the second slant here just in case they're like, okay, well, they have a slant they can take care of. We also have the outside slant whenever we're doing that as well. So that's our buck sweep play. Normally we try to hit the alley here, try to do the best we can to stay as tight to the guards as we can. Otherwise, we can bounce it out. That's probably the defense's objective anyway, but we do what's best for our run play. Guys, that's pretty much our gap scheme series here. Again, we have power, counter, and buck sweep. But again, this is the most important buck sweep, it's the most important power spread concept in the playbook. This is the 92 mesh of power spread, pretty much. So I would encourage, if you're going to put this in, you got to work it, because there's a lot going on in this play. So, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can always reach out to me on Twitter. My @ on there is coach_Swift81. Also, you can leave a comment under here and tell me if you have any questions or whatnot. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great weekend.